Alright guys, what is going on? I'm Tubby Emu. Make sure to leave your predictions for this match down below and make sure to leave a rating on the video. Alright, the IWC must be rejoicing. We finally get CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan on pay-per-view, not a match that involves Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis' politics where the match ends and restarts. We actually get a legit match. Now, this match could be from the result of Black Ref or Justin Long, and the only reason I call him Black Ref, and it's not to be racist, I love Justin Long, is if you search Black Ref WWE on YouTube, you get the video of him dancing at a house show, and it's absolutely hilarious. He's a very awesome referee, and in the match, in the Beat the Clock Challenge, I don't know if he was really supposed to let Jericho not get in time, if Jericho was supposed to get in squeaky clean, who knows, but either way, we get Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk. Now, instantly, I know what a lot of people are saying. From what I've heard, a lot of people are complaining, like, we know it wasn't supposed to happen, so we know that CM Punk is going to retain. That could potentially be the case. The part that this match gets difficult to predict is we don't know what's going to happen with Johnny Laurinaitis. There's so many things that can go on, and, you know, I've said this before numerous times, but it's not a clear-cut and dry pay-per-view. If CM Punk wins, you know, Daniel Bryan doesn't necessarily get buried, so to speak, you know, because he's still kind of over, you know, but he kind of falls back down the pack a little bit. On the other hand, most of the superstars, a lot of them are over on SmackDown. Who really is going to challenge CM Punk for the Raw title? You have Daniel Bryan, who's been coming over. You have Miz. You have Dolph Ziggler, guys like that. But SmackDown is the one that's top-heavy. They've got Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, Sheamus. Chris Jericho, I think, is technically still a Raw superstar, but he's competing for that title. And I got to thinking about this, and I think there's two different realms of possibilities that we could get to see this feud continue and go on longer. And for that to happen, John Laurinaitis would either, if he wins, here's what happens. If he wins and he stays the GM, he could make CM Punk's life a living hell even more. You know, he told CM Punk that natural disasters would be coming his way. That includes, people started speculating, you know, the F5, because that's a disaster. Lord Tensai means disaster, and he's already faced him a couple times in handicap situations. But if he wins, if John Laurinaitis loses and he's fired, that could potentially free up CM Punk from having to worry about all those problems, depending on who takes over as the general manager of both shows. Whether that'll be, you know, Eve, or my prediction of Paul Heyman, or Teddy Long gets his job back. You know, it would free him up from those storylines and would allow us potentially to have a summer of great matches between CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. And epically, what I would like to see happen is kind of what Christian and Randy Orton did last year, where they feuded for 3 to 4 pay-per-views, and it would end in a 60-minute Iron Man match at SummerSlam. Personally, that's what I want to see, but with the possibility of Triple H versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, that probably will not happen. One of the things that, you know, also is kind of a fork in the road, so to speak, if you want to say that, is AJ Lee. Now, most people would say that AJ Lee is trying to win back Daniel Bryan's affection. Definitely, that was a drink of water that went down the wrong side. Definitely a possibility. And like Bleacher Report, I was reading a story that had said that leading up to, you know, this match, which really had no build-up, I would have never said in a million years that Daniel Bryan would beat CM Punk. And then, you know, the AJ Lee vignette kind of threw him for a loop. I can't remember what reporter it was, but he said, that makes me kind of question my opinion. And the reason is AJ Lee was probably trying to go to CM Punk legitimately or whatever, or if it was a setup from Daniel Bryan, but it throws in, will she interfere? The No Way Out poster features her holding Daniel Bryan tied up in a rope on the tracks. And what's going to happen, though? I mean, if Daniel Bryan is featured on the poster, you would think that would entail that he's going to be part of the main event. If he loses to CM Punk, especially clean, especially if he taps or he makes CM Punk tap, you know, it would be devastating. if he loses clean to CM Punk, that pretty much ends everything. It's got to be, if this match does end, it's got to end in some sort of roll-up, or it's got to end with AJ Lee causing a distraction for either one of them. Whoever she would help win, if she was trying to screw over Daniel Bryan or help Punk or go out with Punk, who knows? CM Punk does like to date wrestlers and divas, so that's always a possibility. But this match cannot end cleaned, in my opinion. Cleaned? Yes, it can't end cleaned. It can't end clean, because then it would basically end all possibilities of a future match between these guys. And, Punk said that out of all the guys to work with, Daniel Bryan's one of his favorites. They came up together, and there's a lot of interesting things that could happen for CM Punk. He is approaching, a couple more months, and he'll be approaching the 1-year title reign, and that's something that Bleacher Report brought up too, that they think that he's going to hold on to it to go on for a year title reign. Me personally, I kind of want to see the title off of Punk. I want to see it on Daniel Bryan, and I don't necessarily know why, because it feels like the storyline just kind of came out of left field to fill a void. Maybe the WWE doesn't feel, these two need as much, build up, considering the match itself will speak for itself. That's always a possibility. That could be the case. But to me, when these two come out, it should be the main event of Over the Limit. But unfortunately, it will not be the main event. It can't be. John Cena will go on last, the poster boy of the WWE, and unfortunately that sucks for us, because these two, I think, are going to blow out the house. I think a good 20-minute match between these guys, 20 to 30 minutes even. Wikipedia had speculated the other day that it was going to be an I Quit match. I had requested it be a submission match, but that just leads in all the possibilities of what could potentially happen if this feud continues. Now, for this feud to continue, AJ Lee has to get involved and cost Daniel Bryan the title. That way he gets some sort of rematch. Because if Johnny Ace wins, he hates CM Punk, he could put him against Daniel Bryan again, or it could go other ways. But for me, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Daniel Bryan picks up the victory, and then this feud continues through No Way Out and Money in the Bank. That's what I see happening. And maybe whoever wins the Raw Money in the Bank cashes it in and gets rid of one of these two guys. That's always a possibility, in my opinion. But I definitely want to see that happen. I want to see Daniel Bryan become the WWE champion, because nobody knows really how long this yes thing is going to continue. It may die down. The chances are already starting to die down a little bit after the first few weeks. And granted, the only reason it was is because of all the real wrestling fans at WrestleMania and Monday Night Raw the following night. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say Daniel Bryan picks up the victory. Maybe at the hands of AJ Lee, I don't know. But if CM Punk wins, guys, it's not going to be clean, and expect a rematch, possibly. And John Laurinaitis, please get fired, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit that rating button if you could. My name is Tubby Emu. Have a good day. Tubby out.